Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Jack Daniel's 12-year-old batch 2 from 2024. 53.5% ABV, 107 proof, the best viscosity you can have for ethanol, alcohol, and water mix. Whiskey base number 258767. This has a recommended retail price of $95. I paid 300 euros for this bottle. Now, I am going to compare it to, and I would like to put the bottle up here, ding, 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 the Jack Daniel's 10-year-old batch 2, which I paid 215 euros for. Now, this is my sample that's left, the bottle. I did a bottle share, and someone asked to have the last 10 or 15 CL plus the bottle, and I sent it off to him. So I don't have the bottle anymore, but I do have this bottle. This bottle is going to someone else, and he's going to put it in his collection as well. But I got this. Thank you very much, Miss Canada. She brings over to Germany at the moment. She's on Facebook. Interesting bottles that I would never ever get my hands on otherwise. All right, so I have a couple different locations where I can buy bottles in the States and have them sent over here. I recently bought 7 bottles from, I think it's called Blackwell's, and let's just say I paid $250 dollars for the bottles, and I paid another $250 for postage and excise tax and import tax and all those things to get them over here. So I always have to pay double the price of America. So paying 300 euros for this for 95 recommended retail price, I'm happy. I would never have seen this bottle anyways, and I did a bottle share, and other people are happy to have received 5 or 10 CLs. Just for a little thing. This 5 CL little bottle here costs 25 euros, and if you go for the double the size, the 10 CL, it would have been 46 euros just to try this. Now you're going, Jason, if I go to the bar, I'm going to pay more for a pour, and it's maybe 3 CLs. If I'm lucky, it's 4. If I'm not lucky, it's 2. I know, I'm complaining at a very, very high level here. Now, before I get into this, I want to talk about, at the moment, the word in the whiskey world that we either love or hate, depends on what side of the fence we're on: premiumization. To premiumize something, to make it more premium, means to go up to upsell, to go up in the market. Jack Daniel is, for me, at the moment, maybe the best case study of premiumization I can think of in the whiskey world. So they made basically Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 for 50, 60 years. One day they finally decided, hey, we need to change things up. Let's go for a Gentleman Jack. Let's do the Lincoln County process, the chill filtration before we put in the barrel and before we put in the bottle. And premiumized. It's premium. It's more expensive now than the normal, and it tastes smoother. All right, so then there's like, we can do like barrels. We can do selects. We can say, hey, our master distiller tried these and he liked them the best. Now we can put in this nice little bottle that looks like, I don't even have a bottle at the moment here, of Jack Daniel's, the square one, and we're going to just call it Select. Not even that, we can actually now do, for travel retail, Jack Daniel's Bottle and Bond 100 proof. This blows my mind. The exact same juice in here, the exact same juice in Old Number 7 is the same juice that's in here. It's just 12 years old. It has higher ABV, but it's exactly the same stuff that comes off those 6 ginormous column stills in Lynchburg, Tennessee. I was there 2 years ago. I did the tour, and I've been to 100+ distilleries. And if you're in Scotland, you have a pot still, it trickles off. It's just like a little bit of a, you just left the faucet on a little bit. It's not a drip, but it's just a little bit that pours out. This was like a fire hose gushing. There was so much freaking pressure behind that. It was just amazing. All right, so not even that. They actually pulled out, and this is the wrong time order, though. They did a triple mash where they say, hey, we have our single malt. Wonderful idea. A 1-liter bottle of single malt sherry, cask finished, Oloroso sherry cask finished, travel retail exclusive, 100 euros. Fantastic. I enjoyed it. A little bit too expensive. This, very cheap. Then they were like, okay, let's put a rye. Let's change our mash bill. Let's do 2 mash bills. Let's do our normal Tennessee whiskey. Let's do a rye. And then they have a third one now, the single malt. Wow. And then let's go for single barrel proofs. Let's have the rye in single barrel proofs. And then last year, 2023, it's like, okay, we're going to break the mold. We're going to do something we've never done before at Jack Daniels. We're going to put an age statement on it. I forgot about Coy Hill and all these other things. We're going to have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. They're going to be different. They're going to be batch 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many batches they'll be doing in the next 20 years, but they're limited edition. Limited release says so even there. All right, so everyone's doing limited releases, limited edition LEs, Four Roses, birthday bourbon by Woodford Reserve, and Old Forester. There's always going to be limited editions, and Jack Daniels got on them. Finally got on the bandwagon and started making limited editions as well. And so they're giving us finally age statements. So that means you can work your way up from the old number 7 that you used with your Coke all the way up to a 12-year-old $100, $200, $300, $500, $800 bottle here. They had Sinatra's. They had the number 27 with the wood, the maple wood cast, the gold edition. I mean, Jack Daniels should be a case study for premiumization done right. So you can go from your select to your single barrels to your single malts and up to your age statements and grow with the brand as well as your wallet grows with you. Or you could come in from the bourbon world and say, hey, Tennessee Whiskey, Jack Daniels, they got some good stuff now. Some of the best whiskey out there, I think, is single barrel proof from Jack Daniels. It's hard to beat. My favorite rye at the moment is Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye. I've bought 3 bottles. One I bought from a friend over here in Germany. One I brought in from the States. I went to the liquor store in Virginia. The first thing I picked up was, I need this bottle. And just recently I did another order over there in the States, and I put that in the shopping cart and bought the 3rd bottle over here. I want as many people as possible to try this excellent rye. And now we have the 12 and the 10. Both of these batch 2, both of these from 2024, both of these were released February, March. And I'm going to finally review them after talking all this time. But just think about it. Think about how Jack Daniels, 50, 60 years, 5 to 6 decades, they had one single product. Yes, there was sometimes the green label, but they had one single product, and then Gentleman Jack, and then Select, and then rye, and then single barrels, and then now single malt, the triple mash, age statements. I mean, yeah, that's how you do it. So, and they have a massive fan base that is getting older, more affluent, more money, and willing to pay more money for such bottles like this. All right, and they got on the hype wagon as well. So it's like, where can I find them? We're hunting. And that's what some of us still thoroughly enjoy, is to hunt these bottles that are difficult to get. And then the joy of actually opening that bottle for the first time, which I did in my German video. And the thing, I opened the bottle up and it sounded like this. Wait a second. It didn't even walk up. Even now, it's just like, it's not even worth it. It's like, come on, this is a €300 bottle. And it goes, it doesn't even go. It's just so, but that's a nice bottle. They did a good job of the design here. I really like this. All right, I'm going to compare the two. Nose this one first. This has, if I may say so, the perfect nose. I thoroughly love this aroma. If you made this into man's aftershave, I would wear it. It's just like, yeah, let's put a little bit here behind the ears on both sides. That's just so good. Wood, caramel, dark plums, dried apricots, even a tiny little bit of like strawberry, maple syrup concentrated, wood, oak, spice, tobacco, leather. This is perfection. 53.5. Oh, I love it. The 10-year-old in comparison, more brown sugar, more creme brulee, more caramel. This is more oak. Those 2 extra years really do make a difference, apparently, or the things they, at least the barrels they picked for these batches. Now, I must praise Chris Fletcher he's the master distiller there, for saying, hey, and whoever else in his team decided on this, with our limited releases, we're going to put the batch numbers on the front of the barrels. All right. So you can always look down here, right beside the ABV, you have batch 1, 2, whatever they're going to be. All right. So well done there. So we know that they're not trying to have consistency perfected. Distilled and bottled by Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Established and registered in 68? Eyes are not good enough for that anymore. And a rare spirit, unique and complex. So, all right, let's try these. Now, when you look at American whiskeys, particularly bourbons and Tennessee whiskeys, there's a nice little aging curve, and the plateaus around 8 years of age. Depends where you're at. In Texas, it's like 4. But let's say for Tennessee, Kentucky, you're about 8. You can stretch it to 10, and often, now Elijah Craig Barrel Proof might be an exception here, it's over-oaked by the time you get to 12. By the time you get to 18 and 23, I had an 18-year-old Elijah Craig. I've had a 23-year-old Elijah Craig. I disliked both of them. They were just over-oaked. It's like chewing on a popsicle stick. No, thank you. There's oak spice and there's over-oaked, and that was over-oaked. Now, the 10-year-old, I really, really, really enjoyed. I thought it was perfectly balanced. Now, on the nose, this is better. But on the palate, it's pushing that over-oaked moment. Now, the 53.5%, there's some heat going on in my mouth. Now, I like it, but there's also a drying astringency moment. And it's a lot of oak, a lot of dry oak. It's almost like burnt caramel as well. And I must admit, from memory, the 10-year-old I like better. This is good whiskey. This is a B whiskey. That was an A whiskey. So let's try this. Nice aftertaste, good oak, oak, oak. Here. Now this is 10 proof points less. This is 48.5. This is 53.5. Oh, it's just the perfect balance and harmony of wood, of fruit, of caramel, of sugars, of goodness. That is fantastic. I still love the 10-year-old. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. If you're looking for the better of the two, in my opinion, it's the 10-year-old. It's going to save you some money. You might be able to find it more than you will the 12-year-old. Now, of course, many, many people still believe I'm not going to say the word lie. They're going to believe the myth. Older is automatically better. No, it's not. Just like more expensive isn't necessarily better, older isn't either. And that's very, very true, especially with bourbons and American whiskeys. Ask the people down in Texas. So, Iron Root stopped using 50 gallons. They went up to 60, 62 gallons. So they could actually leave it longer in the cask and make sure that it doesn't get over-oaked. This is a B whiskey, B plus maybe. This is A plus whiskey. I love the 10-year-old. Love the nose. The nose is an A plus. This nose is so delicious. As I said, make it into an aftershave. Mm. Good. Not great. Really drying. Really, really sucks all of the saliva out of my cheeks and tongue. Just too much wood for me. I might be a wimp. All right, so that's that. Um, Good. Jack Daniels, you're doing great stuff. Jack Daniels, you're doing awesome with your product range. Jack Daniels, you're spoiling us for choice at the moment from wonderful products from the absolute bottom shelf, entry level, mix it with Coke and have a good night or weekend or whatever, all the way up to massively over priced products on the secondary market. For example, the 12 and the 10-year-old. Yeah, success proves you right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My question of the day is what is your favorite Jack Daniels product? I think you know what I'm going to say since I've just bought 3 bottles of it in the last 4 months. Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye, often around 66%. Oh, it's heavenly. I don't complain about the alcohol ever. I never complain about wood. It's just so good. And I would much rather have 3 of those compared to 1 of these. So, thank you. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others about this crazy guy over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys you might not never get your hands on. And I'm over here in Germany, in Europe. So, has this reached the shores of Europe? No. Will it reach the shores of Europe? Probably not, at least not in the batch number 2. And so, what a privileged life I get to have here sometimes. And all because of some nice lady over here in Germany called Miss Canada who sold me this bottle and brought it over here to Germany. Thank you. See you real soon, Whiskey Jason. Bye bye.